coming right there.
All right, guys, this is Randy Rawhide Wurst. I'm here with Emery, and today what we're going to demonstrate is failure drills on three-dimensional targets that you can make at home. Emery?
Yeah, so we all know what it's like to be putting holes into a piece of paper, right? If you're shooting a bullseye or an IPSC target or whatever, that's good for working your mechanics. One of the things we're missing is the fact that targets don't stay stationary, certainly not after you shoot them, right? So if you're shooting, you know, 2 to the chest, 1 to the head on a target that's not moving, what are you really doing, right?
Yeah, you're not getting the feel for what a human actually happens when he gets rounds put into him. So that's why I developed these targets. There's a little difference in what Carl teaches. It's not a conflict, just I have it set up where you're going to shoot to the belt buckle first. That's what holds your body up. It also happens to be one of the most painful places to be shot. If it becomes a failure drill, then you go to the head, all right? So you're putting your sights on the belt buckle first. It's the easiest for you to index, it's most painful, and it's going to have some severe damage to them. If it doesn't work, then the failure drill, you go to the head. And what's going to be different is I'm going to go through these with a pistol, and Emery's going to go through these with a rifle. Emery?
Yeah, I think this is the coolest thing about this, right, is, and what makes Randy's targets ingenious is you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on some electronic reactive target. You can literally make this at home for $5, right? You know, $10 with, you know, if you're getting a piece of wrought iron. So this is really cool. And, you know, let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's made for the everyday guy to use, so he can have, you've got to have a target that reacts, and you have to have a target that looks like a human for yourself. Psychologically, Emery, you agree with me, you have to, it's important, right?
It's very important. It's very important. As you're chasing a target down, understand where that target's going to be moving, right? Now, it's going to be different on a person, because here, essentially, we're just getting downward motion. There's not really going to be sides, but it's getting you in that mode of following a target, right? Yeah. What I would say about, you know, we're all used to shooting high A zone, high center mass, right? Because a lot of our vitals are there. And I think it's a bit of a misconception. Yeah, hitting vitals is good. It'll do the job. What Randy's point is, and he's saying this from experience, is when you're going for that lower shot, essentially what you're doing is you're doing what we call a mobility kill, right? You're taking away that person's ability to be upright. In addition, if you have a guy wearing body armor, problem to shoot to the chest. If you got a terrorist with an explosive vest on, that's not where you want to be shooting, right? And you're not just going to go for headshots for a few reasons, namely the head moves fast and it's a smaller target.
Right. And if you have multiple targets, it's really quick to index to the belt buckle. And if they're not out of the fight, then you can go to the head. But quickly, you can hit multiple targets by using this shots to the belt buckle. Now, at the end of this, we're going to do a little demonstration. I'm going to show you how I put it together, but that'll be after the shooting. We're going to get to the shooting right now. All right, guys, what we're going to demonstrate here just real quick is what it looks like when you shoot these targets and how they react. All right, so I'm going to be just stationary for this, not like what we're going to do with the drills, but so that you can see it. Target! All right, neutralize! Moving! Target! Reloading! Balloon's gone! Got him! Let's clear it! All right, they're down, they're done.
Contact! Moving!
Go! Target! Neutralized! Move!
Moving!
Moving!
Target!
Gotta reload, gotta reload. I'm up, let's clear it. All right, they're done. All right, guys, so that's it for this shooting part of the video. Next, what I'm gonna do is piece by piece break down and show you how you do these targets so you can do it yourself. I'm gonna break down this target piece by piece. This is the most expensive, intricate thing that you've got to do. Now this is welded, this is 8-inch long tubing. It's 2-inch diameter so that the fence post can go through it. Probably you want more around 10 inches after I've built these, but these are 8 inches tall, wouldn't be any shorter than that. Then I drilled holes, one here, so I can make a steady platform. And then when I get to it and I get the fence post, I cut the fins off a little bit so I could pound it in a little bit steeper. So this is your platform. This is the first part you've got to build, all right? Now, this is the second part. All this is a target board, and I cut it out in the shape to put like a head on it. What you'll notice first is that I have tape in different places, and the tape is for where the wire is. It's on front and it's on the back side. That way the wire isn't pulling through the target, because the target material will, the wire will make a hole in it real easy. So you put tapes on both sides. So I shoot to the groin and I shoot to the head, and I also can do the failure target to the chest. So this is the one I use for the head, and it's the wire. Drilled holes, 2 holes here. I had them here too, I can change it. 2 holes here, holes drilled here, here, and 2 drilled here. Then you bring it around and it's just regular wire, like fencing wire. I twisted it in the back, as you can see, and so I have a loop in the front so that when the balloon pops, the balloon can go through it. You don't want this real tight. You got to have about that much space on it, if you can see that. Now on my later ones, instead of using this as a hanger, I just used straight wire and I twisted it and did the same thing. But this is just to give it an offset like your chest. That's why I did that. So these I measured out. This is 9 inches from here to here. I put in, this is I think 16 inches, but you need to play with that yourself and see where you want it. And then these are close to the top right here. So that's all this target is. It's pretty simple. There's nothing complicated. It's just like baling wire, really, is what this wire is. Now, I'll set this part down. The other part, you buy your fence post. I'm going to do the fence post next. It's simple. So you buy it, and you can see that I cut these down. I should have probably just cut them all the way off, so that if I need it to stand up straighter and I need a little bit more depth in it, I don't need it to be hitting this 8-inch high piece of pipe right here. So those do have to be cut. So this is standard fence post that you buy. These are PVC pipes, all right? This is a T-elbow, and these I just cut out to the length I figured that I'd need. So this goes down over the top of your pole like this, and it'll set on there. Now, on this end, I drilled it through and put carter pins on there so this couldn't just slide off, so that it hangs on here. Now this will just slip right in like this. Now, see how this tips down like that? I came up with this on my own idea. I take a empty shotgun shell, 12 gauge size, press up there. Now see the level of that? Now it's straight. Now, this is just plain old cord. You could use 550 cord to decide stuff around the house. These are the lines that you use when you're doing mortars and you're putting your brick in, the line that you do your snap line with. That's what these are. These are just plain old clips that you get at the store. Nothing fancy on it. So I run it through it like this, hang it down. The head gets tied off on here. The body gets tied off on here. Now, I'm going to go through, blow up 2 balloons real quick. I'm not going to put the clothes on, but I'll talk you through it. So the first one, That's about all the bigger that you want it. When you're shooting it, it's not a big balloon. You want to hit a specific area. So I'm going to take this, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to drop it through here, drop it through this one. Take the balloon, put it through, hold it, pull it tight, let it hang. Now the second one for the head. Now these, I set these up so that we could do the failure drill. So you notice this is a little bit longer, and that's so when this pops, it drops, but doesn't hit the ground, which means then you've got to shoot it in the head. You don't have to do it this way. You can play with this and make it drop when this does it. And if I do that, all I do is I take this balloon right up here to the head so the head still stays on there. And if he drops and he's out for the count with this shot here, then he's out for the count. But if not, then you got a failure drill. And that's when you've got to run it back through this and tie it off. Now the clothes are important. I don't want to bother going putting them on, but just normal t-shirts that you're done wearing. Before you put the balloons on, you're going to drop the t-shirt over it. And when you lace this line through here, what you do is you'll reach up from the bottom, and then you'll grab it, pull it, and you pull it through there and put the balloon on. Then when the t-shirt is on it, and this is all hanging, you got that second one. All right, so the pants, what you want to do so that you can hang them, picture if you will, because I don't want to bother putting the shirt on. The shirt's hanging on this now, right? So I make these cuts in the pants right here and here. And what is that, how that works is I bring this through like this. I take the t-shirt, I fold it under, and clip this on like this. I do the same thing to this side. Take the t-shirt, fold it under, and I clip it on like this. Now, what I have is t-shirt tucked back under, so you have the contrast between the pants and the t-shirt, like you would on a normal person, unless you do like Chaz is doing, where he's got his shirt hanging out, then you don't really have that. But most people have their shirt tucked in. It gives you that big contrast of where the belt buckle is. And if you notice, this is fairly close. You can drop this down even further if you want. All right, so it just depends where you want this. It could actually come down a little bit lower here and be right at the belt buckle. So you play with it how you want to do, but that's it. It's that simple, that easy. The hardest thing you got to do is blow the balloons up and reset it back up. But once the clothes are on there, it's really not that big a deal. But here's your three-dimensional target, and you're going to shoot till you get the desired effect. You can shoot all day long, but if you don't pop the balloons, it's not going down. If we're real close to the target, and instead of they teach you to go and punch the target, then draw your pistol. I'm not going to draw my pistol. If you'll notice, I always keep my hands here in the front. That's because I grew up with a martial arts so I can block. But the other thing is, so I can use my knife, all right? Because that's the first thing that's going to happen if I'm that close to you, is the knife comes out. But as that comes out, then the gun comes out, and I'm shooting you, all right? So it's a combination of two. By the time you try to block this, you already got this stuck in your belly. All right, guys, take care. See you on the other side.
If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything. If you like the shirt that we're wearing in the video, you can get it in our store.